That was like the bitchiest clap I've ever done. Can I do
It's
it
all
again?
right. I'm sure it's still spiked to my audio. Hello, hello, hello.
It does not spike mine.
Hello, hello, hello. Okay.
Hello, hello, hello. Maybe that'll spike the audio and then you'll know.
Hell yeah.
They're coming to get you, Barbara. Here's Johnny. Like scary.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Scared Speechless, the podcast where two guys who are on the hunt for some cranberry sauce try and find the words to describe our favorite and least favorite horror films. I'm your host, Jake, along with my co-host, Aaron.
Hi.
Aaron, how you doing on this fine fall day? Or fall night? It's nighttime.
Yeah, it's nighttime right now. I'm feeling pretty all right. And you know why?
Why's that?
Because I watched this movie and it's good.
I was going to
It's
ask
called
you.
Blood Rage.
Blood Rage, yes. I was going to ask you, to cut to the chase,
Yes.
do you like this movie?
I do. I really, really do.
I
really enjoy it.
I agree. Because here's the thing. This isn't a great movie in the sense of filmmaking per se.
Sure.
But
yeah.
this is... I did not expect this, my friend.
I had so much fun with this movie. I thought it was so cute.
It... yeah, cute. It is... I don't have a... I'm struggling to find words.
Yeah, you are.
Because I don't know, this is new for me for this podcast because like 98% of the time when we talk about a movie on this podcast, it's one that I've already seen. So I go into it like knowing what to expect.
Yeah.
And then you have Blood Rage.
Yeah.
And I'm having like not the same type of reaction, but in a similar vein to when I watched Thanksgiving for the first time. Where I'm just baffled, my friend, at whatever's going on. But we can get into it in a second or a minute. Sure. Give the people the backdrop of this movie so that they have some semblance of what's going on here.
All right. So this is Blood Rage. It came out in 1987. It is rated R. It is an hour and 22 minutes long. Perfect length.
Perfect. Yes. Not a second wasted.
No, for real. It's
Actually, that's not true. Continue.
It's got a 5.8 out of 10 on IMDb.
Mm-hmm.
It is directed by John Grissmer. It is written by Bruce Rubin. And it stars Louise Lasser, Mark Soper, and Julie Gordon.
Yeah. I don't know any of those people, but...
All right, so here's the plot.
Yeah.
A boy kills a man and accuses his twin brother of the murder, and the innocent brother ends up institutionalized, while his psychotic twin goes free. 10 years later, the innocent twin escapes, which triggers his brother into killing again.
Yep. That's the movie.
Kid's a fucking psychopath.
If you had to take a guess at how many deaths there were in this movie, what would be your guess?
I think like at least 7.
There's 11 deaths in this movie.
Holy shit.
They fucking go for it.
Damn.
And yeah,
There were a lot.
So this is one of those scenarios where it's like how I kind of felt about Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And again, I'll never not recommend you guys go and listen to that episode. Sorry for our YouTube listeners. It's not on YouTube, and the audio file, I don't know where it is. So go listen to it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah.
But either way, I had a similar reaction in terms of the title, because I feel like how Killer Clowns of in Outer Space is exactly what that movie is. It's Killer Clowns from Outer Space. This is Blood Rage, because the gore in this movie is ungodly.
Yeah, it is a little fucked. I mean, I feel like I was definitely desensitized to a lot of it, because I've seen a lot of how the tricks that they do, like,
Yes.
if like a person is sawed in half, like you can see that they're like in like a little hole, and like actually they're standing but you can't see it, and fake body and all that shit. And
I'm glad you brought that specific thing up, because that's one of the ones that I'm specifically thinking of.
Yeah.
And for those of you, okay, guys, I'm going to say it every week because we have been getting new listeners, so it's applicable now. We do spoil every movie we talk about, and if you're going into this and you're a new listener, we do not talk about the story in chronological order. We kind of jump around and talk about scenes that we liked, scenes that we didn't like, elements that we liked, and that sort of stuff. It's more of just like a casual discussion. But yeah, so the scene that Aaron is referencing, and first off, so in this movie, as Aaron mentioned, you have one actor who I don't know what the actor's name is, but he plays two characters. He plays Todd and Terry.
Mark Soper.
So Mark Soper plays Todd, who is the brother who gets blamed for the kill at the beginning of the movie when they're children. And he's like very shy, very nervous. He doesn't have very many lines in the movie. He's, he's weird, but he's kind of innocent in a way. In like a way that like Smeagol is in the Lord of the Rings movies. He's kind of creepy, but it's not his fault. And then you have Terry, who is the brother who actually commits the murder and is one of the most psychotic characters in any movie I've...
Fucking insane, dude.
Right?
He's fucking crazy.
Okay, and so I gotta ask you...
so manipulative.
So manipulative. So manipulative, and then so dumb, but also maybe one of the funniest characters in any movie I've seen.
He was quite hilarious.
Dude, okay, so... He has guys if you haven't seen it and you're wondering, he has a girlfriend in the movie who, first off, again, remind you, there's 11 deaths in this movie and people die with ease, yet he has so much trouble killing his girlfriend at the end, and every time she like hits him or runs away, he like has this like childish smirk, and then he just says something stupid like, "Now, hey, why'd you do that?"
Yeah. I mean, I know it's because like he's insane and like regressing, I think.
Well, but, did you think he was a good actor? Because I can't tell.
I don't know. I like to think so. I like to think he was really good, especially for that role, like doing two people at once.
The thing is, like, I do weirdly enough, like, I get tripped up on some of his line delivery because it's so cartoonish and like campy, and that's what I love about this movie is it is so campy,
hella camp.
Apologies for that, guys. It's so campy.
Bring out the s'mores, it's so campy.
No, absolutely, full on campfire, some might say, Camp Laszlo style.
Yeah, CAMPFIRESONG song.
Absolutely. But dude, okay. So I want to address my point at the beginning when I didn't mean to interrupt you, but when you're like you said that it's like an hour 22, and I was like, oh, not a second wasted, and then I caught myself and was like, well, that's not exactly true. Because the opening scene of this movie is like really drawn out, and it's like there's like all these shots of this drive-in theater, and it's cool because it kind of sets the mood and it kind of sets the vibe, and it feels very 80s, and I love the idea of like a drive-in theater. Yeah, it's cool. Like I love the idea of a drive-in theater. It's like a cool setting. And then but you get this scene where this guy is selling something to another guy in the bathroom. And any rational person watching a movie would probably go, oh, he's probably selling drugs and like coke, or it's the
Yeah.
80s, so it's probably coke, or like, something like that, like acid. I don't know. Maybe even weed. He's selling them condoms.
Yeah, dude, you can get those for free. He fucking was doing $1 a condom.
Yeah, he's selling.
That's crazy. Fucking inflation, man.
And one of the funniest parts is, do you know who the actor is who the guy selling the drugs is played by?
No.
It is Ted Raimi, the brother of Sam Raimi, director of the Evil Dead movies and
fucking
Spider-Man.
really?
Yeah, and it's funny because, as I've mentioned in the last couple episodes, I've binged a fuck ton of slashers in the last couple months, and he's popped up at least 2 or 3 times, I feel like, in new movies that I've discovered, as just like this random character in the movies. Like, he's in them for like half a second. There's this one movie called Intruder from the 80s where it's like this like normal grocery store, and it like some guy is going around killing people in it. And Ted Raimi just pops up in that movie as like the meat slicer guy who he's in it for like maybe 30 seconds.
What the fuck, man?
But yeah, that's our boy Ted Raimi, who is the brother of famous director Sam Raimi. I just thought that was kind of cool.
Crazy, man. That's awesome.
How did you feel about Todd and Terry's mother taking them to the drive-in and then proceeding to go to town with a guy in the front seat while they were in the back seat?
Not good, man. But I guess that means she couldn't get like a babysitter or something, because I don't know, man. That's kind of really weird.
It's so weird. It made me so uncomfortable, and it especially the way the guy acted towards her, because he's the one who's like egging her on. At first she's like, but the boys, and he's like, they've been asleep for a half hour.
He kept like pushing. It was weird.
He did, and then they do start making out, and then she gets interrupted because I think something happens. They hear the screaming going on because the two boys, basically, they wake up while their mom's making out, to which Todd or Terry, I'm not sure which one, says, oh, great, mom's going at it again. Which also just, come on. And basically, they leave the car, and they take, Terry ends up grabbing a hatchet, and then goes to another car and finds this couple having just full-on nude sex, just going to Pound Town in the backseat of a car at a drive-in theater where just like anybody can see you. And basically gets this weird, creepy look on his face and just starts fucking hatcheting the fuck out of this guy's face.
Dude, man, it was crazy. I was like, like this movie, I was never scared at any like part.
No.
And I don't know if that's entirely the goal. I think this was kind of more to like discomfort. Maybe.
Yeah.
But I just like, I didn't find it all that scary, but like when that happened, I was like, ooh, like I'm impressed because of like the practical effects, how they showed like each like cut, like each like slash, and I don't know, I just really appreciated it,
dude. And you know what it is about that kill that I noticed so after watching the movie, I watched it a couple days ago, and so to refresh myself, and that's the only reason I knew that it was 11 kills, is because right before we started recording, I watched a kill count video on YouTube of this movie, and that's how I knew that there was 11. And obviously, like, that's the first kill of the movie. And when I was rewatching it, what I noticed why it like stands out as like such a good kill is because you don't really see kills like that in slashers. Like normally, if you have like an axe or like a hatchet or something like that, it's normally like a one-shotter. Normally they just like take it to their skull and they're dead. But this kid like hacks him multiple times and you just have
Yeah,
these
dude.
like huge like gaping slashes all
Yeah.
over his face, and then
Oh, it was nuts.
it's
and then he's
gruesome.
like kind of like defeated, and he's like still like moving and just like twitching.
That's what always gets me about certain kills is when they like do the twitching thing, because that it's so
Yeah.
like authentic and like
Ugh.
yeah. And then our boy, as we said in the synopsis, our boy Terry frames his brother Todd, who it goes into a catatonic state because of the murder, which allows Terry to cover him in blood and hand him the hatchet when the mother arrives. Because that was my original point about the guy she's making out with the car. So they're making out. The scream happens because the girl that the guy was having sex with, she runs off screaming after Terry hatchets the guy's face to death, and she's like, "Oh God, the boys are gone." And then the guy gets annoyed with her and says something like, "Oh, I hate a girl who brings her kids everywhere."
Oh my god.
Come on, man.
So
But anyway, and
That's
then basically we flash forward. I think it's 10 years or so into the future. It is Thanksgiving, which is why we decided to do this movie during November, because it is not really a Thanksgiving movie, but it is set on Thanksgiving, so
Right.
why not?
Yeah.
But there are some references to Thanksgiving that I absolutely love. That ties back into our opening, my opening line, and it's because our boy Terry in this movie, once he goes full on psychotic, which is like almost right from the get go, he's immediately like a crazy person, and you can tell.
He's like, he has such like an alpha male bravado kind of thing about him, and it just like, it was like really like it was that like scary kind of charm that he had.
Yeah, it's very, you know what it is? It's very like Ted Bundy-esque.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely freaked me out a little bit.
He
Didn't like that.
is unsettling, like as charming and like campy as this movie is. And like you said, you never get scared in this movie, but there are scenes where it's like, no, this guy's a fucking lunatic. Like I would
Yeah, he's fucking nutso, dude.
and it just the way, because there is not one kill in this movie that is the same. Like almost every single person dies in a different way.
Loved that.
Yeah, it was very unique, and like I think that's, to me, that's the selling point of this movie, is because like much of the acting is not very good. It's not particularly well shot in a way like The Exorcist or Halloween is. But man, if this doesn't have some of the best kills I've seen in a slasher, and that's saying something, because we're coming off Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, which
it just has such a fun campy vibe. It's so it feels like so classic-y.
it's very 80s and dingy, which I
Yeah.
loved. Do you have I'm wondering, because we did bring up like 2 or 3 kills so far, and since we're on that topic, do you have a favorite kill in this movie? Because I think I have one,
Question.
but then I think I might have another one.
I don't know. I kind of like the kill where he's going to the guy and like the guy is like smoking weed.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh yeah," and then he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm just like out here to like chill out, whatever." And he was like, "Oh yeah," and then I forget what led up to it, but he just like grabs his shoulder and then just plunges a machete right through him, and it was like, "Ugh."
So, yeah, great kill, and that was actually gonna be like my other favorite kill, because
Really.
when I was watching
loved it.
when I was watching the kill count video, it's the guy, the character you're talking about is the doctor, Todd's therapist or doctor or whatever, Todd's doctor's assistant, who in this movie just willy-nilly carries around like a tranquilizer gun, which is kind of
Yeah.
is kind of funny and very 80s, I guess.
I think so.
But yeah, so that's her assistant. I would say a great kill, and like you said, like it's so great because the effect looks amazing. Like,
Oh yeah.
Terry just takes this machete and plunges it straight through this fucker, and oh, it's a great kill, great kill. I would say mine. So my favorite effect in the movie is probably the halving, like the doctor herself when she's like looking for Todd comes across Terry, and you don't see it, you don't see her get cut in half, but you see Terry approach her, you see her face screaming, it cuts away, and then when you cut back, you just
Oh my god.
she's just cut.
I'm just thinking of it. I'm remembering it. That's so fucking good.
Dude, she's the craziest thing is she's
like cut into like thirds.
she's split down the middle with her guts just hanging out and just like flailing around, still screaming. It's fucking horrifying.
Fucking nuts, dude.
You know what else is horrifying? And it's not even the kill. But when Todd and Terry's mother, so we didn't mention it, guys, but she actually has sort of like a happy life now. She has a pretty great boyfriend who they're getting engaged, and they basically when they tell everybody at the dinner table, because they invite some neighbors over to their house for Thanksgiving dinner, and when they tell all their neighbors and friends that like, oh, they're getting married and they're engaged now, and you just see Terry just like instantly snap, and then it's immediately preceded by them finding out that Todd has broken out of his asylum, and they think that he's coming there. Which is a cool setup, I guess. It's a little bit like Halloween, where you have like an escaped mental patient, right. But just with the added twist that it's not that's the mental patient, that's the dangerous guy. It's the twin brother who's been hiding in plain sight this whole time. But you know what I love about that scene is I love when she finds out that Todd escapes, and she turns to Terry and she's like, "So Terry, your brother Todd has escaped and they think he's coming here. But don't tell anybody because I just want it to be a nice night and everybody's so excited about Thanksgiving. I don't want to ruin anything." And he's like, "Yeah, sure, no thing." And then they go sit back down at the dinner table, and Todd immediately looks at the mom's fiance and goes, "Oh, looks like you're about to meet the rest of the family. My psychotic brother just broke out."
Yeah, he said it immediately. I'm like, damn, dude, you're an asshole.
And his mother just looks at him like, dude, what the fuck?
that mother is like pushed the fuck over.
She's going through some shit in this movie, my man.
God.
How many glasses of wine do you think she had through the course of this film?
Like a million. It like took me a minute to realize like that one scene where like she wasn't seen for like a long time, but then it's Todd coming back into the house, and then he's just like looking around, and then she comes out and she's just like falling over. She's like, "Terry," and then she just like falls over, and I'm like, oh shit, what did I miss? Is she dead? Like she just like sits down and she's like passed the fuck out, and I'm just like, oh my god. So I had to rewind and see if I fucking missed something, and no, she just like, and then I like kept watching, and it was just that she had been like drinking a lot.
So much.
A lot.
All this
she drank a lot.
All this woman does in this movie is cry and drink wine.
I know, it's fucking crazy. She's fucking crazy.
I will say,
she's got a lot going on.
She's got a lot going on, but
lot to confront.
If there's one thing I hate in this movie, it is the scenes of her on the phone with the fucking operator.
Oh my god, dude, yeah.
They feel like they go on for like 10 minutes long.
You're right. But I thought it was really funny.
She's just like sitting on the phone with this operator, just like bawling her eyes out, drunk off her ass on wine. And just like this operator's like, ma'am, I cannot fucking help you.
Oh my god.
Oh, dude, speaking
funny.
of her going through some shit, when she finds her fiance and she just like taps on his shoulder and his head falls off and hits or does his head fall off or does his head just hit the table? It doesn't matter.
Oh, it hits the table and it splits in half.
It literally, it just.
Oh my god, dude, that one was actually really, really good.
It splits in half, and you just see his fucking brains just
oh my god,
in half. It's unreal,
gross.
unreal. And even that character who dies early on in the film, his death is pretty awesome too, because
pretty incredible.
Terry just walks in with the machete. And he's like, "Oh, hey, Terry," and Terry just fucking lops off his fucking hand.
Oh my god!
And you get that like shitty '80s effect where he's like looking at his hand, screaming, and it's just like,
he's and like, then the blood's like squirting out.
All the blood is gushing everywhere.
It's so funny.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. The gore is just so fucking good in this movie. And even though we said that it's not that much of a Thanksgiving movie, other than being set on the holiday, they do use a Thanksgiving utensil for a top tier kill. And
oh yeah.
So one of Terry's quote unquote friends in the movie, he gets a carving fork that you would use for like the turkey, stabbed through his fucking neck. And it is fucking gruesome as hell.
That's a lot.
It is a something about the stabs to the neck do something to me. Like there's something so
gives me the heebie-jeebs.
Yeah, and I don't want to spoil which movie it is, because it may give it may give the character away. I mean, not really, but I'll let you experience it on your own. But in a Scream movie, there's a fantastic knife kill through the throat that I think you're really gonna dig when we get to those movies. But
I'm excited.
Yeah, the kill in that the kills in this movie are just next level. You know what's an underrated aspect that I think goes a little overlooked, that is not even just campiness, but I thought the music,
you know what,
was good.
I definitely thought the music was so good.
It's got like a cool 80s like synthy score, and coming off,
this is such an 80s movie. I loved it.
So 80s, especially that like opening montage of the drive-in theater. So 80s, from the music to just how they're dressed and the way they interact with each other. One of the cringiest scenes, though, I'd have to say, in my opinion, is when Terry's girlfriend comes in contact with Todd, and she thinks that it's Terry, which the characters in this movie are so fucking stupid. It's like unreal.
So, dude, all those fucking kids, like, all they did was have sex with each other, like, no boundaries, just anyone. Well, like, have sex with anyone.
It's that, and then also, dude, Terry and Todd have like completely different haircuts, and nobody even like addresses, like, because all of this shit happens over the course of like one day, and nobody fucking addresses the fact that sorry guys, throat's a little dry. Nobody addresses the fact in this movie. Nobody ever goes, "Oh, hey, you're wearing like a different shirt," or "Hey, when did you change clothes?" On top of the fact that, again, Terry and Todd have like completely separate haircuts. And this is after the fact that all of them know that fucking Todd has escaped the insane asylum, because they're all at that dinner when fucking Terry spills the beans. And nobody is ever like, "Oh, hey." It takes them like 5 fucking minutes of interacting with Todd to be like, "Oh shit, you're not this guy that I've known for several years." Even his own girlfriend, which comes back to what I was talking about, is having this conversation with Todd, thinking it's Terry, for what feels like fucking an eternity. And basically she's just like, "Yeah, you've been so distant lately, and we feel so out of sync." And then she goes, and it just makes me cringe. She goes, "I want you to make love to me."
Oh my god.
But then even cringier, and then it makes it really hard to defend Todd in this movie because this is one of his creeper moments. He goes,
Yeah.
"Ugh," and he goes, "I've never kissed a girl." And then at that point, that's when fucking the girlfriend, again, Terry's literal girlfriend, goes, "Oh shit, you're not Terry, you're his psycho brother Todd." And she
has such tact.
She fucking runs off. Oh my god. What else? What else do we have? What do we got in this movie?
Huh.
Oh, I thought it was funny that Todd, immediately after spilling the beans at dinner, asks for the green beans. Oh, we didn't bring it up. Quite possibly, I know I use hyperboles a lot on this podcast when I say like this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. But this is the beginning of the movie, right after they do the flash forward 10 years later after the opening kill. Basically, you have Terry and Todd's mother going to the asylum to visit Terry and speak with his doctor, whom she's apparently never met. Like, what? You've never met your kid's doctor in the 10 years he's been treated?
Really?
Either way.
Huh.
They basically start having a conversation, but then it has the weirdest voiceover I have ever seen in a movie.
Oh, yeah.
I have never been so confused about a voiceover.
I remember that too. I do remember being like confused a bit as I was like listening to it. I'm like, okay, so is this happening now? Is she saying this? Is it?
I have no idea.
Is it now or is it from later? Like she recorded it later? I don't know.
And for those of you listening who have not seen the movie, essentially what happens is, like I said, the mother goes to speak with the doctor, and it looks like they're talking to each other. Like there's shots of their mouths moving and them having a conversation. But instead of hearing the actual dialogue, it cuts to this weird voiceover from the doctor describing what they're saying. So instead of just having a conversation, you have a voiceover playing while the scene is happening, describing what's happening in the scene.
Man.
It is one of the most confusing,
it was weird,
creative decisions I've seen in a horror film, and that's. I just had to address that because I'm glad you were thrown for a loop either.
I kind of liked that though, that it was just so weird.
Oh, can you look up the budget quick for me? Because I wrote in my notes, if this had a higher budget than 100,000, I'm gonna kill someone.
Let me check.
I was like, if there is any world in which this movie has like a higher budget than Texas Chainsaw Massacre, somebody is getting stabbed.
Jesus. Let's see. Blood Rage.
Side note, I wrote that one of the girls, her nipples are always showing. I don't know which character that was, but I think it's the neighbor that Terry like flirts with and then ends up killing anyway.
Damn it, man. I don't see it.
You son of a bitch. I'll do it myself.
I'm looking.
Waste of time. Every time I type in Blood Rage on Google, the game comes up and not the movie.
I know. That's what keeps happening to me, man.
Does this have a wiki? Oh shit, never mind. It's harder to find than I thought.
Yeah, that's what I fucking thought.
Sorry, it's usually on the Wikipedia.
Not here, bitch. I'm looking.
Oh, I have to ask you. I don't know what you watched this on. I rented it on Amazon, and apparently this movie has multiple titles. it's not just called Blood
Is it?
Rage. It's also called Slasher. So when
Yeah, I saw like in the beginning like credits, like they
It-
just kind of put up slasher there, and I was like,
yeah,
okay, is they're describing their own movie? I guess.
imagine if every movie just started saying their genre at the beginning.
Romantic comedy.
Dude, now I want that to happen now. Yeah, I was so confused. And then
Dramedy.
I looked it up, and
LGBTQ.
is that a genre?
In Netflix, it is.
It is a genre on Netflix. Yeah, The Babadook is
Yeah.
an LGBTQ movie.
It is.
That's still one of my favorite trivia facts.
Isn't
Is that it's not, but remember, like it accidentally got put on Netflix for their
yeah,
LG.
yeah.
That's still one of my favorite trivia facts
funny.
that we found out on this show. Dude, holy shit! Why is it so
What
hard?
an icon.
Why is it so hard to find the budget of this movie?
Man, you're asking the wrong guy.
Is it? Did you check IMDb?
I don't think it had it there.
Son of a bitch.
Let me see.
Sorry, guys. I know this probably isn't the most interesting to listen to, but we are baffled.
I think it's dude. This is the most entertaining shit.
We simply cannot find the budget of this fucking movie.
Reviews, top picks. How long?
I wanna know what love is.
Reviews.
Want you to.
Show me.
Gnarly stabs to the throat. Oh, I also love that not only does the mom inhale wine, but she has like a full-on like 4-minute scene where she's just like eating mashed potatoes on the floor with her hands. Or is it with a spoon? I can't remember.
I think it was this one.
Yeah, it would be more in line with her character to just be like scooping the mashed potatoes with her fucking paw.
Yeah.
She's the worst. I fucking hated her character. I was like, so guys, spoiler alert, at the end of the movie, she's the last person to die. Basically what happens, I'll let Aaron keep searching while I divulge how this movie ends. But basically, Todd escapes to this pool area with Terry's girlfriend and a baby. And I genuinely, again, because I watched this a couple days ago, I couldn't tell you where the baby came from. I completely forget. Either way, they found a baby at some point, and
Some like couple.
oh yeah, right, they're one of their neighbors who has a baby. They got axed off. So they find the baby, they're running away, and they run to this pool area, and they run into Terry, and some shit be going down, and then the mom arrives grabs the gun, shoots quote unquote Terry, who then dies, and then has this like sentimental moment with Todd before you find out that she thought that she killed Todd. So she still thinks that Terry is innocent and that Todd was the killer. Meanwhile, she just shot Terry. She has a meltdown when Todd reveals that he's not Terry. She keeps screaming his name. Todd keeps screaming, "I'm Todd." It's really weird. It's kind of stupid. And then she shoots herself in the head. And that's how the movie ends.
It made me uncomfy, and I found it to be entertaining, actually.
It was just like...
I liked it.
It was so confusing because this whole movie... They're like sort of building up to the idea that this mother is going to discover, oh fuck, the wrong son has been institutionalized this whole time, and the son that's been living with me is the actual killer. Because hey, that's like kind of an interesting plot point, right? But no,
I liked it.
They just don't do that. And then the mother just like still the entire movie up until she shoots herself in the head thinks that Todd is the serial killer.
Yeah.
Even though she enters the room
She's
and
pretty awful.
I don't know, man. It's
I hated her so much.
she sucks.
They like essentially already find out that he wasn't, or like say like he's telling like the truth.
Dude,
that
Right at
he
the
did
beginning.
not kill anybody.
Right at the beginning of the movie, the doctor tells her, "Hey, your son is not in a catatonic state anymore. He fell into that state because he saw your other son." Like, that's the thing, is the doctor believes Todd.
Yeah.
It's established multiple times that the doctor, the female character, believes that Todd is innocent.
Yeah.
He even says when he finds her body, he's like, "You believed me. Why didn't you do something about it?"
Oh yeah. That's so sad.
Well, she should have done something about it because bitch got carved in half. Sliced
Look at your head.
and diced.
Slicing and dicing.
There was one really good shot and moment of suspense that I thought was cool, and it's later on in the film where Terry rolls the tennis ball, and it's like, oh fuck, it's Terry. Like, you know what I'm talking about? It's like, it's later towards the end of the film, and you don't know where Terry is, you don't know where Todd is, and I forget which character. I think it's the girlfriend, but he like, out of frame, Terry like rolls the tennis ball to them, and then it's just like an indication, like, oh, Terry has arrived, like Terry's on the scene.
Yeah.
Oh shit, you know what I thought was kind of funny
What's that?
you know I know I'm stupid for asking this, but I assume you've seen Step Brothers.
Oh, of course I have.
Do you know the line in the movie that Will Ferrell says where I think John C. Reilly says something to him, and it's like, it's towards his mother, and Will Ferrell, and he says it in this exact tone. He goes, "Hey, you don't say that." There's a moment like that in this film, and it's when two of the characters, this boyfriend and girlfriend character, they go to have sex, and out of all places to have sex, they decide to have sex on a diving board in this open pool area.
Yeah, it's so weird.
And Terry approaches them, and the first thing he says before he cuts the guy, before he swings the machete at the guy, is he goes, "Hey, don't do that." And then he just clobbers the guy with the machete. And all I could think of,
he did say that.
all I could think of was Step Brother.
They don't do that.
He goes, "Hey, don't do that."
Oh my god, that's fucking awesome.
Ooh, a question, because it's kind of related. Did you get to finish Friday the 13th, the first one?
Yeah.
You've seen the original first one, right?
Yep.
Okay. Spoiler alert, guys, for that movie, because I'm going to spoil it. What if Mrs. Voorhees just went around that movie, because her whole thing is killing people, camp counselors who like have sex and stuff. What if every time she like she was about to kill them, she's like, "Hey, don't do that." like that awesome Kevin Bacon kill where she like grabs his head from underneath the bed and like pokes the knife or the arrow through the bed and through his neck. Great kill, by the way. Top-notch kill.
Fantastic kill.
Well, you know who did Friday the 13th Part 1, right? For the effects?
No.
Our boy Tom Savini.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
He's the man. But fuck, if I don't know any better, I think we should definitely watch more movies by whoever did the visual effects of Blood Rage here, because like we said, not only are the kills cool and creative, but the effects are top notch. You know, like the head splitting in half, the doctor getting halved, great effect. Even though, like Aaron said, like, I mean, anybody with eyeballs can tell like what's going on in the effect. It still looks cool.
Yeah.
That scene I mentioned earlier where the mother's boyfriend or fiance gets his hand chopped off, and what's cool is he has a beer in his hand when it gets chopped off, so when it hits the ground, like the hand is still clenching the beer.
Yeah. And doesn't it like move afterward a little bit?
Yeah, it does like the little twitch.
Yeah. This is discomforting.
Yeah. No, it's
But it's like it still wasn't like scary because it was
No.
just kind of like
nothing about this movie
it was
scary.
just so silly.
The only thing that's like
I
a little
loved
bit unsettling and a little bit creepy is Terry's performance here and there, like the way he does things. Like, but again, it's more so charming than it is like scary. Like we didn't mention it yet, but the whole cranberry joke is that
Oh my god, yeah.
a couple times in the movie when there's like blood on his machete or there's a bunch of blood in an area, he goes, "That's not cranberry sauce. That's not cranberry sauce."
Oh my god. Like, why does he say it more than one time?
He says it at least 6 times in this movie, and every time I burst out laughing. And every
Damn,
time,
I
I think
thought it
at
was
one
like
point,
3.
at one point in my notes, I wrote, "That ain't cranberry sauce. Hell yeah."
Oh my god, dude.
Oh, the one guy, one of Terry's friends who gets, at one point, Todd, who is not helping his case here, but holds one of Terry's friends hostage. And the guy at first is like, "Hey, I'm not going to help you. You're that psycho." And then, like, obviously Todd pulls out the gun and is like, "Yeah, you're gonna." Then immediately the friend changes his attitude and he says it in this like Brooklyn accent, and he's like, "Anything you say, they call me Mr. Helper."
Oh my god, I forgot Mr. Helper.
No, not Mr. Helper, Mr. Helper.
Mr. Helper.
It's like more like a Sopranos
I know, it
New Jersey accent.
Just really caught me out on left field there.
"Hey, they call me Mr. Helper." He's the one who ends up getting the carving fork through the throat.
Yeah.
I think his name is like Artie or something, because
Right.
that's another scene where right after he dies, our boy Terry goes, "That's not cranberry sauce, Artie. That's not cranberry sauce." Honestly, I would not have a hard time making a drinking game for this movie. Hear me out.
I
Drink every time he says cranberry sauce. Drink every time a character mistakes Todd for Terry. And take a drink every time a character dies. And there you go. That's 11 drinks right there.
it's a lot of drinks, dude.
That is a lot of fucking drinks, man. But
Be fucking passing out.
this movie's fucking nuts. A lot of my notes are like, "Wow, this movie's nuts. This movie's fucking crazy."
It is quite crazy.
I did write at some point, "This is my new favorite movie."
Man, it was so much fucking fun, man.
Let's see if I can pinpoint where I wrote that. Oh! It's right after the scene where the girlfriend mistakes Todd for Terry, and she goes, "I want you to make love with me to me," and then he goes, "I've never kissed a girl."
Oh my god.
I think
dude.
at that moment I cringed so hard that I spasmed and wrote, "This is my new favorite movie."
Oh, I thought it was so fucking
Yeah. I mean, what are we at time-wise? We're making good time. We're at 50 minutes. Any scenes or moments or elements you want to bring up? I kind of feel like I covered a lot of... I mean, I didn't mention it, but the decapitated head was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
That was one of the better kills.
Yeah. That was a kill like you kind of knew it was coming. It's like if you don't get like just a straight head chop off, you have not succeeded at being a slasher.
Absolutely. You got to have a decapitation.
Yeah. Kidding me?
There's one scene in Friday. I'm gonna spoil this. I don't care. Sorry. There's a scene in Friday the 13th, part like 8 or some shit, where Jason punches a guy. He punches a guy's head off, and it's awesome.
Oh, I know of the one.
Yeah. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's an iconic kill.
Jason goes to New York.
It's Jason Takes Manhattan, asshole.
Or takes Manhattan. Go fuck yourself. We all know what it actually is.
See,
it goes to New York.
The thing is, though, he doesn't get to New York till the last 15 minutes.
Really?
Like 90% of that movie takes place on a boat.
Oh, you're right. I think.
He doesn't take Manhattan at all.
Oh my god, this Diana's roomie had put on like all of like the week following like coming to Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah.
She was like putting the movies on like in the living room, like while she was like doing stuff or whatever, and so like I would be there, and so that's when I watched the first Friday the 13th, and then
Boring ass movie.
like I ended up like passing by again, and she had shut the fuck up, and shut up, and fuck, you made me lose my train of thought.
You stopped by again, and I presume Jason Takes Manhattan
and then
was on.
that was when Jason Takes Manhattan. Shut up.
Did you get to
When
see?
Jason Takes Manhattan? Like I watched it.
Did you get to see the whole thing or just pieces?
I watched a bunch, and then I watched that scene that you just described.
Yeah, it's a good scene.
I don't remember how it ended.
I do, because it's one of
There's
the
a lot that happened.
it's one of the dumbest endings in the franchise. How many of the Friday the 13th have you seen? Just like one in that one?
I think so, essentially.
We'll get to that franchise at some point. That may be one.
I started the second movie for like, I think like 5 minutes.
I like
but
part two. Part two is one of my favorites.
I have to watch it, man.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think all of those movies are fun. Those are the only movies that like I don't rate on like a normal scale. This one YouTuber who doesn't really upload that much anymore, Ralph the Movie Maker, he made a Friday the 13th video where he has a rating scale where the movies are ranked on 3 categories: the kills, the boobs, and the overall entertainment value.
Huh.
And that's the only way that you can rank those movies, because I will go on record here. I'm a huge horror fan.
Yeah.
And like, again, slashers are my bread and butter. Love them all. I've seen a fuck ton of them. But I don't think there's a single genuinely great Friday the 13th movie.
Oh.
I think they're all...
Okay.
They range from terrible to fine.
Jeez.
I don't think there's a movie. I know we're going off on I guess a little bit of a diversion, but this is important.
I'm gonna need to think about this.
I don't think there's a movie in that franchise that comes close to like the first Halloween or the first Nightmare on Elm Street or the first Hellraiser or the first even 3 George A. Romero, like Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Living Dead, Day of the Dead. There's just like usually a lot of even like I think like Child's Play 1 and 2 is better than most Friday the 13th movies. They're just not that well made. They're just not that well directed. Some of the kills are solid, but like I stand by it, man. That first Friday the 13th movie is boring.
Damn.
Sorry guys, tangent, but
No sweat.
you've seen the first one recently. Was that
we'll do an episode.
what was more entertaining? Friday the 13th Part 1 or Blood Rage?
Well, definitely Blood Rage.
Exactly.
But it's not like it wasn't entertaining. I thought it was plenty entertaining.
There are some cool kills in Friday the 13th Part 1. I love Ralph in that movie. The crazy guy on the bike.
Oh my god, dude.
It's got a death
he's just
curse.
Like, it's called a death curse. And then he's just like riding away and he's like ding 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 ding.
Yeah.
The little bell.
Oh, Ralph. I love that Kevin Bacon's in that movie too. It's so sweet.
Yeah.
And it has the best death in that movie.
Wasn't
Yeah. He's the one who gets the arrow through the neck while he's after he gets done going to Pound Town.
Oh shit. Damn.
Which the characters in this movie also go to Pound Town. They also get fucking brutally murdered. Can't have sex, guys. You die. That's just the way it goes. Can't have sex.
Do it. Don't do it.
At one point, I just wrote, after the decapitated head scene, I wrote, Jesus Christ, he's killed so many people. Oh my God. Preceded by,
He definitely did.
wow, the mom just always has wine, huh?
Oh my God, yeah. You know, she's got some demons.
Yeah, she does. But yes.
One of them's her kid.
Yeah. The other one is red wine.
Mm-hmm.
And the third one is ruining that operator's day.
I couldn't help but laugh at that. Like, I was just like,
Imagine being that
she's
call
going
operator.
through a lot. Yeah, I would just like,
The funniest
man,
part.
both of them are going through a lot in that moment in time.
Funniest part is she's calling to find out information about her fiance, who is currently dead right downstairs.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And when she does find him, before she like taps on his shoulder, and like his head, you know, hits the desk and you know, splits in half. Before that happens, she's like outside and what's that guy's name? Do you remember the fiance's name?
I do not.
It doesn't matter. She keeps calling out his name. Obviously, he doesn't respond because he's fucking, you know, dead as a doornail.
Jeff, maybe.
Jeff, Roger, something. I don't fucking know. But either way, his head falls, splits in half. But before that, all that happens, she's like calling his name, and the entire room is just covered with blood. And she just seemingly doesn't fucking notice that.
I was trying to like put that into perspective and think like, well, maybe she doesn't see it because it's on, like, the blood is on the inside of, like, the curtains and stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, maybe her position, like, she can't see the blood that's just, like, right in front of, like...
Yeah, maybe.
Right in front of the guy. Until she got, like, a lot closer.
And still didn't notice.
It took her a little bit, but she got there.
In her defense... she was hammered off the red wine. So
exactly.
She's hammered off the red wine and probably has a tummy ache after fucking inhaling leftover Thanksgiving food.
That's probably exactly what happened.
Yeah, but I don't know about you, man, but I kind of covered all my notes and I feel like we've talked about a lot of the scenes. Is there something else you want to bring up or
well, I couldn't find the fucking budget anywhere.
Me fucking either, dude.
I am so surprised that this is so secretive, I guess. Huh.
No, like for real, like there's just like no, like all over the internet. Like usually it's on IMDb or Wikipedia or some random fucking site that tracks how much movies cost to make. But there is nothing about this movie in terms of how much it cost.
Yeah.
There is
I'm bummed about it.
Blood Rage. I'm seeing here on Amazon. Oh, dude, hold on. I'm going to show. Okay, first off, I'm going to tell you the price after I show you this. But look how sick. It's a Blood Rage 3-disc special edition Blu-ray with the DVD. Look at that cover.
Oh, that's actually really rad.
Now, here's where I tell you the price. It's $144.
No fucking way, dude.
But there's only one left in stock.
Wow, that must be like a cult classic or something.
You can get it used for $129.
Jesus Christ. That's insane.
Yeah, what the fuck? Maybe it's just because like this does look
this economy. Fuck.
Oh, okay. It's produced by Arrow Video, which is sort of the Criterion of smaller scale horror films, in a sense. I have one movie from Arrow. It's Deep Red. It's a Dario Argento giallo Italian slasher movie. It's really, really good, and I would love to talk about it on this podcast at some point. But
I'm fucking down. Let's do
yeah, it's really, really good. I actually like it more than his other popular movie, Suspiria, which I like Suspiria a lot.
Yeah.
But I there's something about Deep Red that I just think it's fantastic. And
Awesome.
there's a kill in Halloween 2 that pays direct homage to Deep Red, which is kind of fun.
Really?
Indeed, indeed. And I did not know that until I saw the movie and then saw that trivia fact. But
Which one?
do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, which one?
It's our favorite kill, the drowning with the face scalding.
Really?
Yep, it's from Deep Red.
Oh, that's so cool.
And it's done really well in that movie too. It
Really is.
it's done really well in Halloween, but also done really, really well in Deep Red, and that's just a very well done movie. It's Dario Argento, like the same dude who like we mentioned in the Dawn of the Dead episode, just like loved Night of the Living Dead so much that he invited George A. Romero to come to his villa in Italy to write the script for
That's so cool.
Dawn of the Dead. I just, and there's so much cool shit, like weird director friendships, like Sam Raimi and the Coen brothers are like good friends. There's a bunch of like cool stuff like that, like a Quentin Tarantino and Paul Thomas Anderson are like buddies, and obviously Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez. But before we get since are you, unless you have something, are we kind of done with Blood Rage?
Think we're good, man.
Cool. I thought it would be kind of cool to talk about a little bit of horror movie news, because something pretty major was announced in the past week or so that I know we're both very excited for. It Follows is getting a sequel, guys. Confirmed. David
That's
Robert.
so cool.
I am beyond excited. David Robert Mitchell, director who did It Follows, is returning. Supposedly, Micah Monroe, who played Jay in the original film, is also returning. So I know we actually, guys, recently talked about the first It Follows films on this podcast. So go check out that episode.
Yeah,
that one is on YouTube because it's one of our recent ones, but also, again, Spotify, Apple Podcast. But yeah, guys, it's supposedly being called They Follow. So I'm curious what that title means. I'm wondering if what they're gonna do with it. I'm excited, but I'm a little hesitant. I hope they don't go down the route of like Sinister 2, where they over explain the demon. You know what I mean? But
yeah, I feel you.
I'm excited. I can't wait.
No, I am beyond thrilled.
At the very least, we're gonna get another killer soundtrack.
Oh my god.
Hopefully, so like they didn't announce
for fucking
the
sure.
composer yet, but I really hope that they get the same guy who did the last one, Disaster Piece. They that's like one of the most crucial elements of that movie. Honestly, bring the whole team back. Bring that same cinematographer back. Who I do know. I don't know what else he shot really, but I do know he was the cinematographer for Split, which is another really good-looking movie.
Dude, I love Split.
Yeah. Split's a great
It does
movie.
look really nice.
You know it's not a great movie? Glass. Glass fucking sucks. That was so disappointing because I'm like one of the biggest Unbreakable fans I know. Like that's my favorite Shyamalan movie, like even above Sixth Sense. I love Unbreakable. That when people ask me like what's one of the most underrated movies of all time, I always say Unbreakable because
Oh man.
it's so fucking good. But
Never watched it.
yeah, it's not really horror, but I wouldn't mind talking about it at some point. But either way, the only other piece of horror movie news that I want to talk about is that Miramax bought the rights to Halloween, the TV rights. So there is potentially in the next coming years going to be a Halloween TV show. Now, I'm not sure if that means a Halloween series based around Michael Myers, or if that means maybe they're going to finally go down the original route of maybe every season is an anthology based around Halloween. That could be kind of cool. But yeah, so we're getting a Halloween show from Miramax, so I guess we'll see how that goes. I really don't want to see Michael Myers on TV. It just doesn't feel right, but
Yeah.
after what we got with the David Gordon Green trilogy, who fucking knows what's next for that character?
Yeah, you never really know.
Well, that's really it for the horror movie news. Do you want to give Blood Rage a score, and then we'll get into next week's recommendation and get on out of here?
I
right.
do. I would like to give it a score.
All right, what are you giving it?
Uh, 8.9 glasses of wine out of 10.
Jesus Christ, dude, an 8.9. Now I'm gonna feel like an asshole. I'm still not changing my
liked
rating.
it.
I enjoyed the
shit.
hell. I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. This might be one of our biggest gaps yet.
It's
I'm
so
gonna-
much fun. Like
It-
I feel like
it
I
is.
could definitely rewatch it sometime.
Oh, if
I felt like
I would watch this right now.
yeah, I felt like if you were to like watch a movie and like they had like a movie on and it was like this is like a fucking like slasher movie. It's so cheesy and whatever in the 80s. Like this movie would be playing on that show's like television.
No, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
I think that. I believe that with all my heart. So
No.
it just makes me enjoy it more.
I totally respect that. I'm gonna give this movie a 5.8.
Bitch, you bitch. Sticky bitch.
Listen, guys, I cannot pretend this is a good movie, but I agree with Aaron. It is an absolute blast. It's a super fun movie. Start
It's
to
a
finish.
ball.
It's thoroughly entertaining. I think this movie could have squeezed a 6 or higher out of me had they gotten rid of those scenes of the mother on the phone with the operator. Because
Yeah.
while they are funny
I
to
get
talk
you.
about, they are so long. And
They are
it's just
quite
like
long.
it's just like a 5-minute steady shot of this woman drunk off her ass crying into the phone, and the woman is acting her ass off, but I just don't give a fuck. But either way, guys, with Aaron's 8.9 and my 5.8 out of 10, we get a combined score of 7.35 out of 10, which is pretty damn
Yay.
good. So if you
I'd say
guys
so.
if you guys want a horror movie that's just some really good gore, some really solid kills, pretty entertaining, good rewatchability, I'd say. You're looking for like a slasher that's like, I guess, quote unquote Thanksgiving themed. This one is a good one to throw on. This is a good background movie. Like, this is really good.
That's for sure.
If you're like, because I know a lot of people come into town and meet with friends around Thanksgiving time. People have like Friendsgiving. If you guys are like want to throw on a horror movie like around that time, that's like fun and campy. This is a good one to throw on.
Oh, dude, it's so comforting. Like it's such a it's kind of cozy in that sense. It's,
absolutely.
And I like the fall. You know what I really loved? The setting of like the apartment complex.
Yeah.
Because it's like that guy, he really just like found a way to get so many people alone and then just murder them. Like it was I loved that. It was so much it was really cool.
That's actually a good point that I hadn't really thought of. Is like an apartment complex is like a pretty cool setting for like a slasher. You know,
Ooh, do I hear your score going up?
all right.
That's
All
a pretty
right.
good point.
All right, I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
All right, it gets a 6 out of 10.
All right, do the math again.
Wait, what is it gonna go up to? So we'll
I
do
said 8.9.
6 plus 8. Oh shit, I fucked that up. 8.9 plus 6 divided by 2. So it goes up by 0.1. So it's a 7.45 now instead of a 7.35.
Alright.
But I'm fine with it. But yeah, that is a good point. It is a cool setting, and it does provide like reasoning as to how he gets all these characters alone to brutally murder them. But yeah, guys. So I know I normally give the recommendation, but Aaron, since this was sort of your idea, would you like to give the folks what we're going to be talking about next week?
It is next week.
Hell yeah. I'm watching
All
it on
right.
Peacock, baby.
All right, guys. Next week we're gonna be watching Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
Yay!
Let's
I'm
go.
so excited.
I kind of am too. Because me and Aaron were talking about this a little bit before the podcast. This movie is such an anomaly because it is getting such piss poor reviews across the board, but is
undeserved.
Dominating at the box office, man. Like,
so good.
It is like breaking records and shit.
Yeah, man.
So
it's awesome.
I don't know, guys. I don't know what to expect. I know nothing about Five Nights at Freddy's. Never played any of the games. Never watched a video about it. No clue what it's about. So
I used to be so cringy.
I'm going in blind, but I'm very excited. I haven't seen my boy Josh Hutcherson in a movie.
Hutcherson.
Is it Hutcherson? I think I always fuck that up. Josh Hutcherson is my boy, our Bridge to Terabithia boy. Actually, I saw him in a Hulu show a couple years back called Future Man. Hulu. But yeah, guys, like Aaron said,
Future Man.
Yeah, that was a solid show. I thought it was fine. 3 seasons, nice, easy, clean. But
I have that on my list.
it's fine. It's not like a must get to right now, but if you ever have like a free weekend, you could probably bang it out or whatever. But yeah, guys, like Aaron said, we're doing the new Five Nights at Freddy's movie. It is on Peacock as well as streaming, or not streaming. It's streaming on Peacock as well as currently playing in theaters, which makes its box office dominance even more impressive. But either way, guys, I know nothing about it going in, so I'm very excited. It's rare I go into a horror movie blind. But yeah, so that is next week's episode. We'll do a little bit of plugs. You could find this podcast, guys, anywhere you get your podcast, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, as well as Spotify. So wherever you get your podcasts, you can listen to us there. We've been doing a little bit better on YouTube. Also, if you guys want to leave a comment, our boy Arman Rahim, I'm going to keep shouting him out because he's still our only guy who comments on our post.
What a good egg.
So thanks Arman, our number one fan. We appreciate it.
You.
We appreciate all you guys who listen to the episodes. We know, there's a lot of other horror podcasts out there, so we appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to ours and hear what we have to say about all these fun movies to talk about. You can find us also on Instagram, Ask Gary Speechless, as well as Facebook. I don't really post on Facebook a ton, guys. It's just, I don't know. But we do post on Instagram, so you can find us over there.
Soccer moms.
Yeah, I don't know why I still use Facebook to begin with. I think it's just because I've been using it for so long and I'm old.
Silly Willy.
But yeah, guys, so definitely check us out over there. Follow us on Instagram. If you want to, DM us, tell us what you think of the episodes. You can also leave a comment, like I said, on YouTube, and chances are I'll respond to it. I'm pretty good about that stuff, especially since we don't get that many comments to begin with. So chances are I'll respond to you. Let us know what you thought of the episode. Let us know movies that you'd like to hear us talk about on the podcast. We're always down for recommendations. We got a couple really fun holiday themed episodes coming up in the future that I'm very, very excited for us to discuss and dive into. A lot of movies that I myself have never seen. So yeah, so much fun.
Yes, I'm so excited, man. I love watching these new movies with you.
Oh, it's a great time. And I love too when it's a movie that neither of us have seen, because it's cool when it's both like fresh eyes and new experiences and whatnot. But
hell yeah, man.
Yeah, guys, you can find me personally at my Instagram at boosjacob, spelled BOOSJACOB, all one word, all lowercase letters, as well as my own personal YouTube channel, Former Film Student on YouTube, guys. If you like us talking about horror films, I just did a handful of horror-related videos, including underrated slashers that you guys can check out, as well as doing a 2-part Halloween series franchise retrospective / review, which I put a lot of time and effort in. So if you like those movies and you want to hear my thoughts on them, go over there and check that out. Also, if you guys are newer horror fans, I just did a video where I recommend 10 quintessential movies that can get you into the horror genre. So I recommend checking that one out too. Former Film Student, find me over on YouTube. But that's really it for me.
Yeah, and I just really have my Instagram. That's at VixAddict. That's VIXATIC. Don't worry about what it means. I post personal stuff, and I haven't forever for like the longest time.
I'm still waiting for that October photo dump.
Ah, man.
Did you end up getting a chance to wear your costume?
No.
Aw,
I think
no.
like for myself, I got to.
That's
Like,
sometimes that's all
it
you
was
need.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, I should have taken a picture though. Oh, I could just put it back on.
that's all right. Next year we'll have a Halloween party.
Yeah, man, that'll be dope.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll have a cool, dope apartment, and we'll throw a little shindig, a little spooky
man.
party. That'd be fun. But yeah, guys, that's really it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. We really do appreciate it. Like we said, we know there's a ton of horror podcasts out there, but we appreciate the 30 to 40 of you guys consistently take your time out of your day to listen to us babble on about these horror movies. Throw us on whenever you get a chance, guys. New episodes every Monday. I've been pretty good about making sure they're uploaded either the night before or the morning of Monday. So again, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Throw us on when you're on your morning drives into work, your afternoon drives when you're coming home from work, when you're on your morning walks to go get some nice fresh hot coffee or iced coffee, whatever your pleasure is. When you're at the gym, getting your pump on, inhaling those protein shakes like they're goddamn Skittles. Doing what you got to do. Throw us on, guys. We really do appreciate it. It means the world to us. But yeah, that's it for me. Aaron, you got any final words?
Yeah, throw us on when you're when you're just like vibing in the psych ward, and just doing your thing.
Yeah, guys, if your twin ever frames you for murder,
Exactly,
you go into a catatonic state, maybe listening to us will bring you out of it.
Hey, man, you lose nothing by trying.
Yeah, I mean, with our soft, soothing, sexy voices.
Hell yeah.
All right, guys.
Hell yeah.
It's late. We're getting delusional, so
Hella.
I'm so tired.
I'm hella tired, dude.
All right, guys. Well, thanks again for listening. And again, one last time, Five Nights at Freddy's. It is on Peacock, so you got no excuse.
So excited. I'm so
You got no excuse to not watch it before we talk about it.
I'm gonna rewatch it like 10 times, dude.
Jesus Christ. All right, so he's gonna be really versed in that movie, but
I totally would.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode. Goodbye.
Bye.